John now says that he is going to deal with this problem. Verse 10. I've already read it, but I'm going to read it again. Wherefore, if I come, I will remember his deeds which he doth, prating against us with malicious words, and not content therewith. Neither doth he himself receive the brethren, and forbiddeth them that would, and casteth them out of the church. 3 John, verse 10. Wherefore, if I come, I do not think this is the if of doubt. I shall see at the end of the epistle, we shall see at the end of the epistle that John intends to come, and he is coming, but we need now know what a day will bring forth. John says, if I come, in the sense of if something should come up, if something should happen, I might be unable to make the trip, but he intends, and his intentions are to come. There are no doubt in his mind about that. I will remember his deeds which he hath done, which he doth, rather. There's no hath. In Christianity, the important word is truth. The truth manifests itself in love. It is just as simple as that and as important as that. Diotrephes loved to have the preeminence, which, by the way, is a characteristic of the flesh. The fruit of the flesh is meekness, but the Diotrephes was a dictator. Meekness does not necessarily mean weakness or cowardice. It means that you have turned the reins over to the Lord. It means a wild stallion under control. It's a riding term, or that you take the reins of the horse and you control this wild stallion with that. So the idea there is meekness, is that we have submitted ourselves to the will, our lives and wills to the care of and control of Christ. And so it's somebody that's guided and directed by Christ. It is meek. And so that's where you should be whenever that you're in a church building. You should be exhibiting meekness and not be threatening to hit people and charging people and taking over the church service and making everybody a spectacle of yourself because you want everybody's attention. Someone has said silence is golden, but sometimes it is yellow. It is too bad that there weren't those in the church who spoke out against Diotrephes. And that's the thing that I have had time and time again, is it seems like I'm the individual that has to have the bravery to say something to these individuals and say, sit down and shut up. Moses was considered a meek man, but when he got up and talked to the children of Israel, he didn't sound like a meek man according to our notion of meekness. He spoke with the authority God had given him. The Lord Jesus was meek and lowly, but he went in and cleansed the temple. This is the reason I feel I should speak out on this, because nobody else speaks along these lines as far as I know. When this thing is hurting our churches, somebody should say, look, brother, sit down. You are spoiling things. You ought not to be loving the preeminence all the time. You should learn to be meek and let others speak. John says, wherefore, if I come, I will remember his deeds which he doth. Diotrephes exhibits that which is not the mark of a believer by any means. He apparently did not have the truth. Yes, they're not saved people. Prating against us with malicious words. Diotrephes was attempting to completely destroy the effectiveness of the apostles and especially of John. John says, when I get there, I'm going to deal with him. I'm going to speak against him. I'm going to let it be known that this man is using malicious words. They came to me and my pastor whenever I left my pastor where I'd surrendered. We believed that he was talking to my ex-wife, and they wanted me to talk about him, and I wouldn't talk about him because I believe that you should talk about a preacher or a church. If they are literally a church of God, that you can be blaspheming. And so you have to be careful with these things. And that's what this man was doing. He was blaspheming John. He was associating him with something that was evil, and that is dangerous. A man called me some time ago who was a member of a church that I served at one time. He went as he said, I want you to forgive me for saying the things I said about you. He said he had gone as far as to say that I had left the church in debt. I had never left in debt any church that I have served. The fact of the matter is that I left that church with tremendous reserve funds, but he also, with a few others, simply did not mention that. As a result, a false report went out. I told him, you don't have to ask me to forgive you. You need to ask the Lord's forgiveness. He said, I've already repented and talked to him. I told him it would be nice if you would now give the true report to those you gave the false report. He had been a Diotrephes. He enjoyed presiding. He enjoyed having his way. Apparently, a change has come over him. Now he is in another church, and I understand that he is doing a good job. I rejoice in that. But he was a Diotrephes. I feel, and if you'll notice, John mentions his name. And so if you are upset that I do that, that I mentioned Ernie Kidd's name earlier, and all the people that I've mentioned in this so far, Paul and John mention the people's names and bring shame and reproach to them. I feel that I should have dealt with him more severely than I did when I was there, because John says I intend to deal with Diotrephes. We have a tendency as Christians, well, at least with my personality, it's like, can't we all just get along? And so we kind of just sweep things under the table. And I find that, God has to make me confront these people, where really I should be confronting them as soon as my spirit discerns that what they're doing, that they're they have a love for preeminence and not content therewith, neither doth he himself receive the brethren, and forbiddeth them that would, and cast them out of the church. Imagine this fellow. He is excommunicating anybody who would certainly, or who would entertain these men John had recommended. What a horrible picture this is. If you want to wreck a church, just have a man like this or a little group like this, my friend, you will wreck the church. The sad situation is that there are too many men like this today in church circles. It's interesting. They churched my great uncle, the Daltons did, because one of the wives was working, and he spoke out in the 70s against women working in the church, and they churched him over it. Well, you stand up to these people, and that's what you're going to get. That's why people won't stand up to them, is they don't want to get churched, or they don't want to get sent down the road, or be their reputation to be destroyed by them, because they're narcissists. They're psychopaths, and they're going to destroy you if they can by running around behind you, like we did, like the lady that left the church, that her idiot husband was that it was a Diotrephes. didn't know the difference between John the Baptist and being Old Testament. She called up everybody and tried to turn everybody against the pastor. So you can call John an apostle of love if you want to, but the Lord Jesus called him a son of thunder. I think they had a regular thunderstorm when John arrived at this church because he said he was going to deal with Diotrephes. I bet he ran him out of town when that came. It is too bad other churches don't deal with Diotrephes because he will wreck a church if he is permitted to go on. He skips verse 11 and the commentary on it. Well, actually, he doesn't skip it. He added it to the commentary. He realized, I guess he overlooked it. But I'm going to read it. Verse 11, beloved, follow not that which is evil. And so we're continuing on here. But that which is good, he that doth good is of God, but he that doth evil hath not seen God. 3 John verse 11. So we can say pretty much that Diotrephes is evil, and those who act like Diotrephes, who desire the preeminence in the church, they are who love to have preeminence, they are evil. John encourages Gaius to continue doing that which is good. Again, he emphasizes that the one who practices righteousness is a child of God, but the one who does not practice righteousness is not born of God. And that concludes